Hi guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be on edges, and here you have your model, and this is a Miniverse remake. What we're going to do is concentrate on the edges and if you were going to be drawing them. Now this sketch is not cleaned, and I left it unclean just to show you the edges in a darker color, and later on when I actually do color this picture, I will clean up the lines for you, put this sketch into the group, the Facebook group, and you'll be able to download this for free. So don't even concentrate on that or worry about that for now. What I wanted to do is talk to you about edges, and there are two different types of edges. The first edge we're going to talk about is going to be a hard edge. The second edge is a soft edge. And I'm going to show you on here the differences and why you need to treat them completely different. So here on the flower, you want to make this flower, and this is the exact flower on here. Now, if you look at this really closely, this area or in here curves over, okay? And it drops off completely from the light right here on the very edge. You're going to treat that differently than, say, right in here that creates the curve. So you have two different things going on in this flower, and you have to pay attention to that. Now, the first on the inside, it was going to be a dark area. Why? Because if you look in there, it's all shadowed. And that's because the light hits that last. So in here, it's going to be all dark. Then it's going to blend up to the light being right in here. So you're going to have a gradient from dark to light. Then it's going to curve until you hit this line, which is your hard edge. After you get past this hard edge, there is no blending. You leave it hard. You stop it dead. So it's going to go dark to around here, and it's going to stop. Now, in a normal sketch, this line is not going to be so dark. In a coloring page, it is. And it's going to make the difference between a realistic flower and one that's a coloring book flower. You want your sketch to be nice and light. Now, what I see a lot of people doing is this. And I don't know why everybody got into that habit. And I see so many really good artists doing it. They leave a light area right here against the hard edge. Now, that's fine when you're casting a shadow. But if you notice, this doesn't hit a wall. There is no casted shadow down in this area right in here. So there would be no reason for there to be a reflective shadow right in here. If I was doing a ball, say, on the table, I would have that reflective shadow because light would hit here and then bounce up into the ball. But that's not what's happening. And a lot of people do this with faces and with objects that are just out in midair because they were shown that this is what you're supposed to do, but not taking into any consideration your reflective areas. And I've seen really good artists doing this too. So here, if you butt your dark or your background pigment right up to the line, you're going to get a much more realistic look against this hard edge. So no space over here unless it's against a table. Now, the soft edge is anything that's rounded but has no definitive hard edge. Now, another soft edge that you would see in here is the little crab that's over here. The soft edge is right in here. And this is where you would do a gradiated blend. You would take in consideration where your light is coming in. So if your light is striking right here, your highlight would be over here, and you would round this out accordingly. Now, would it have a reflective edge on the very bottom? Probably not, because it's darker. Now, you could really see the shadow that's in there. But it's not really shiny. It's not translucent. A lot of times when you get this reflective light, it's because the object is translucent and the light is going through, bouncing around, and hitting back. Now, everything really does have a little bit of this type of light that's reflective, but most of the time when the object is just not that shiny, you're not going to see it so brightly. So like a clear marble, a glass, that would have the reflective light, or how you can now see it in your mind as far as artwork goes. That's when you'll basically use it. Of course, everybody takes artistic liberty, and that's fine, but we're talking in realistic drawing. You're not going to put a reflective light in there. What right in here, which would be right in here, it goes dark underneath, and right there would be your hard edge. You stop. Then you would do your shadows underneath, which is what it has now. On here, it has like a little groove in the plastic. That's why it's so dark in here, but it's really not that much of a color gradient. You could see a little shadowing going up. Now, a lot of new colorists and people who are working with colored pencil for the first time, they're afraid of shadows. Don't be afraid of them. Shadows are what's going to bring your pictures to life. I once had a comment in one of my videos where somebody said, I don't like Prismacolor because it has too much gray. You can never have enough gray pencils. If you have a set of pencils and your grays are not touched, you're not doing it right. They're your best friends. So you're going to get in there, and this is going to be darkened. Now, you could darken and do a shadow in a shadow color in a gray, or you can add a little gray into your color to darken it, and you'd get that type of shadow. Larger shadows, that would be down here. Say you have the light coming in over here and it's casting a shadow onto here. Then you would use your gray pencils all in here, and it would cast its shadow. So I hope you understand now a little bit more about your hard lines. Stop this habit of leaving that light going around, and take those edges right to your hard edge. And I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.